Hello and welcome back to the Spring Kickoff Show. For, for right now, we are talking about the girls' track and field team. And here we have
Adriana Beatty.
Adriana Beatty.
Yeah.
Hello. So you basically throw away from when you start doing track you do your throwing away from when everybody else is doing their track. So how does it say you to be motivated when you're doing all your throwing and stuff while the other girls are out there running around the track field?
I would say my teammates have helped, just staying motivated and lifting each other up at practice. Sometimes when we have a hard practice, we try to tell one another that we got this, and some days you might not always have a good practice. Yeah.
So, so how's it different from like when you compete? From practice to competing, what's the difference between that while the others are going around the track and field?
Well, when we compete, it's more serious. So we know there's other people who are going to be from other schools who are competing with us. So we have to, just focus on making sure that we hit a personal record and we do our best in the meet.
And speaking of schools, who's your biggest rival in this sport?
I would say Innsworth. They have some good girls to throw. Also BA. They have some good throwers out there as well.
So what's the potential that you and your teammates could achieve?
I think if we're all consistent and we practice hard, we could all, have better throws. Yeah.
So what are the what underclassmen have strived for success? Which underclassmen stand out in the pack besides the seniors?
I would say Zoe Diaz. She's a really hard worker. During the years that I've thrown with her, she's worked really hard, and I've seen her grow in throwing. So I'm very proud of her for that, and I hope that she does really well her senior year.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Up next, we have another senior who's also great at throwing. So, welcome to this kickoff show.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Tessa Villani, and I'm a senior.
Tessa Villani. So what's what keeps you going in throwing while the rest of the people are out doing track?
Well, I think that even though we're not in front of like a very big crowd, our teammates, we definitely keep each other motivated and pushing each other for success, especially in the weight room. Like, we're always encouraging each other and cheering each other on to lift more, because weightlifting is a big component of throwing. And yeah, so the teammates.
So what are your biggest rivals this season?
Oh, this season, I think our biggest rival is probably going to be BA. They have some really good girl throwers.
So what's the expectations? What are you all trying to strive for this season?
We all have our personal records, but my personal goal is that I want to hit 30 feet in shot put. But again, like, we're always, every time you throw, you're constantly trying to beat your old scores and your old records. So I think we're all just pushing to definitely beat last year's PRs.
So which underclassmen have standed out from this season?
We have a lot of really good underclassmen this year. We've had a lot of freshmen come in and be pretty good naturals at the sport. Brock Carlson is one underclassman who really stands out. He's awesome. He's been throwing for years, and yeah, he's definitely going places.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that'll be good. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No. And our last interview for this session is is Coach Joseph Kent, who's an English 4 teacher. Welcome to the Kickoff Show.
Thank you very much for doing this. And first of all, I want to compliment Adriana and Tessa. They are a credit to Father Ryan. They're great student athletes, and they really are highly motivated. It takes a great deal of motivation to do track in general, but specifically the throwers, because like they were talking about, they have to practice away from everybody else in the team. Track is a sport that gets little visible glory, and throwers get even less. So it's a credit to these young ladies that they have stuck it out for 4 years, and we're really proud of them. They've definitely left their mark on the school. So I salute you guys. Give me applause.
So we've talked. I've talked with these two about many underclassmen who strived, who put their best foot forward. Which underclassmen would you think has put their best foot forward?
Well, to date, I've been very pleased with everybody. Track, you've got to be very self-motivated to do track. You don't have a lot of prima donnas who come out for it. It's hard. And so, consequently, you don't get a lot of people coming out for it. The United States Marines used to have a slogan, the few, the proud, the Marines. Well, we're the few, the proud, the Lady Irish. We don't have a line a mile long. So the girls who've come out are all working very hard, and they're supporting each other. So I'm very pleased with all of the girls. And you wanted me to give you a few names. Zoe Diaz, one of the throwers, she's been doing well. Mary Hampton Hayden, Helen McCall, Rachel Knapp, Stella Harrison, Annabelle Feltner, some of the distance runners, and then Christina Buckley and Mariah Clark, just to name a couple of the sprinters. So that they're all doing well. And those of you out there listening, I know that there are probably less than 5 million people listening to us, but I really hope that you can come out to some of our track meets. They're free of charge. And you'll get your money's worth. Come out and support these athletes. They really work hard, and they represent the school well.
So what expectations do you set for these track and field participants?
Number one, that they run the right way when the gun goes off, that they don't run against the grain. That's number one. And number two, that the throwers don't break any windows or anything with their implements. The expectation is that they just that they're better at the end of the year than they are at the beginning of the year. And my goal for the track team always is, hopefully in some way doing track will make them a better person for it. That's my ultimate goal. It takes a lot of guts to do track, because if you do a sport like soccer or basketball, and in basketball, if the other team has a person who scores 40 points a game, you can double team the person or try to keep the ball away. But in track, it's your speed against the other person's speed. It's your strength against the other person's. And if somebody's faster than you, you get your doors blown off, and you've got to be courageous enough to accept it.
So the two ladies have said that Brentwood Academy is your biggest rival. Do you agree with them or not?
No, I don't. The biggest rival is ourselves, because it's you against yourself. You don't have you can't do anything to control what your opponent does. You can only control yourself and your effort. And so it doesn't matter who we compete against. It's basically, it boils down to you against yourself. And sometimes, you get nervous, so you have to overcome your nerves, not your opponent's nerves, but your nerves. So that's, that's what I think. You can't control anybody else.
Well, Coach, thank you for stopping by. Up next, we have boys track and field.